everyone. I am Kayla Moore. I am a songwriting coach and the author of Your Path to Songwriting Success, 7 Steps to Becoming a Confident Songwriter. Today, we're going to talk about how human design can affect your songwriting. And I know some of you are wondering what human design is all about. And my guest and fellow incubated author, Robin Winn, will explain all of that for you. Robin is a coach, and she is the author of Understanding Your Clients Through Human Design. Robin lives in Hawaii, so aloha, Robin. Thank you so much for joining me, Robin. So, to me, human design seems like a combination of astrology, numerology, chakra system, all that kind of stuff combined. So, can you explain to everyone what exactly that is and maybe how you actually got into it?
Sure, I'd love to. First of all, thank you, Kay. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank
You
you
know,
for
when,
being here.
when I saw your post on Write a Song, I don't know if you remember this, but I said, "Oh, I want to do that. I want to write a song this
I
year."
remember.
Because I remember being a girl, young girl, like 9, 10 years old, walking to school and singing songs,
Yes,
making up songs, writing poetry, singing songs,
yes,
thinking I was going to be a songwriter and poet when I grew up. So the invitation that you offer, I think it touches a very deep heartstring in a lot of us that,
awesome.
that a possibility that we buried,
Yes.
right?
So, are you saying that maybe one day you'll write a song?
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm one of those people that's probably right on the fence, like probably a lot of people who are listening to you are considering.
Yes,
So, what
definitely.
I'd like to talk about a little bit today with
Hmm.
human design. So, I was a psychotherapist
Okay.
and I studied a lot of different things. I was probably a therapist for uh, 25 years before human design came into my life. And
Okay.
once it came in, it was like my world turned because I had a map of how to understand people that
Mhm.
didn't, for one, wasn't mother blaming.
Right.
So much of psychotherapy has an underbelly of
Mhm.
blaming the parents. And,
Yep.
it's tricky. It's tricky. It's just
Yeah.
tricky.
Yeah.
But I started to see that some of the issues my clients had, they would have had no matter who their parents were. It was in their
Oh,
chart. It was part of
okay.
who they were. It's part of what they're here to grapple with. So it
Right.
started to take off the shame, blame, victim
Mhm.
layer and bring more agency and authority to
Nice.
people,
Nice.
more power.
Yes.
So, human design, you're right, it uses your birth time, date, and place.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of the I Ching.
Sounds familiar, but I
Yeah,
don't
so it's an
know.
ancient Chinese divination system
Uh-huh.
that uses, just bear with me, I'm just going to give you a little technical stuff here for a second, and then everything
Okay.
else will flow. But
Sure.
it's made of 64 hexagrams. So
Okay.
each hexagram is 6 lines.
Mhm.
So the first hexagram is 6 solid lines, and that's like the most yang, most masculine energy in the chart. The
Okay.
second is 6 broken lines, and that's the most receptive or feminine.
Uh-huh.
And then the other 62 are some combination of broken and solid.
Okay.
And each one of those has a packet of information.
Mhm.
Okay, so the time of you were born, the planets were somewhere above and below the horizon, and in some combination of these 64 hexagrams. So at the time of your birth, this is the quantum physics part. The neutrino stream comes down, picks up the energy of your planets in those hexagrams, and it creates. We do the same thing 3 months prior to your birth. That's your unconscious, and it creates this chart that tells you your best operating system, the best way for you to make decisions. It gives a reflection of what I call your quantum body. Like we have these
Right.
physical bodies, but we
Yeah.
also have these holographic quantum bodies that are made up of space and form. I don't want to get too esoteric here, but we're
Yeah.
way bigger than we think.
Yeah.
We're
And
just
so it's like a guide. That's amazing.
It's
I'm getting
total.
all googly eyed because I love this stuff.
I know. It's the new technology. It's really the new technology. You
Okay.
know, my dad was a cardiovascular surgeon, and I can remember coming home for dinner at night, and he'd talk about these new machines, the MRIs,
Right,
right?
right, right.
And he's like, they're so much better than X-rays. And that's like human design. It's so much better than so much of the technology out there because it gives you a clear picture of who you are and how to work with yourself.
Right, right.
So
So,
there's one thing I want to say because I know this is close to your heart, which
uh-huh.
is in human design, it's like one giant puzzle piece. And each person is a piece of that puzzle.
Yes,
And each person is perfectly designed.
I love it.
I know, I
Each
know, I know
person
this
is unique and they fit in the whole.
exactly. And we need them to be unique. If you
Yeah,
try to live somebody else's design, you suffer and humanity loses out.
right,
Right?
right, right.
So we need each person to be in alignment with who they are and not trying to be somebody they're not.
Exactly. Exactly. I
So when
love
they go
that.
to sing a song or write a song, it's your song.
It's your
It's
song,
nobody else's
exactly.
song.
Exactly. And people feel it. People know when you're being you and when you're expressing yourself authentically.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's
So
like we're
I'm
all, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say I know you've done my chart, so I can't wait to hear what you got to say about me.
Should we pull up your chart just to show give people
Sure,
a visual
sure,
of what that would look like?
sure. I'm excited.
Okay, let me just bring it up.
Okay,
So
I
this
see it.
is your
It
chart.
looks so complicated, so you have to break it down.
Okay, let me break it down. Yeah. So here are the planets at the time of your birth. So your sun was in the 15th hexagram
Okay.
that shows up right here. Your earth was in the 10th hexagram.
Hmm.
Do you get my emails by any chance?
I do.
I
I
sent
love them. They're weekly, right?
yeah, I sent an
Yeah.
email out today for the
Uh-huh.
configuration now, and it's the 1015, but it's flipped.
Okay.
So this week is familiar to you in some way.
Huh.
So I'll talk about that more in a minute. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely have to explain that to me.
yeah. So your sun is in the gate 15. We call this the gate of extremes. So
Hmm.
you're designed to have extremes in rhythms and to not, I mean, it would be wrong for you to try to write a song every day or to do something every day in a specific
That is
way,
so true. That is so true. I
right?
know a lot of people say you need to write every day, and that's something that I can't do. It's just not going to flow.
It would be unkind for you to try to do that.
Right.
It's not in alignment with your puzzle piece.
Hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
So this 15, it's about extremes, like in weather we have tornadoes or hurricane, we have extremes.
Hmm.
So the 5, which is down here, which you don't have consistently, that's like the sun rises every day, the sun sets every day, the seasons come around, right? That would be someone who had that energy would
Hmm.
need to follow a rhythm.
Okay.
That would be important for them. But for
Okay.
you, this is the biggest energy in your chart. You're saying, let's do it. How are we
Yep.
going to do it?
Yep.
Right?
That's
And
me.
some yeah. And the other piece of this is called compassion. It's deeply compassionate. It loves humanity,
Yeah.
right? You want the best for humanity.
Hmm.
You love nature, you love animals. I mean, it's
Yep.
deeply, deeply compassionate. Makes sense, right?
Totally makes sense. That is me.
Yeah. So I'm getting chills over here. So
Yeah.
the earth is what supports your sun. So your sun is saying, let's focus and do something big and right. Let's create a song,
Yeah.
right? And it's going to be in a specific period of time, and then it's over. The writing of the song is over.
That's so true. I've had moments where I had a song that I figured it was over, and then I had to go back and make some changes, and I'm like, I'm just done with it because
Yeah,
that energy came through. I wrote it and I'm done.
exactly. That's perfect for you. And you can support other people to
Mhm.
focus and get it done.
Yeah,
You have that blessing, right?
yeah.
So the earth supports you.
Hmm.
This is 10, and this is the gate of self-love.
Hmm.
The more you love yourself, the more you empower people to love themselves.
Yep, that is so true.
So
That
when
is
you
so
write
true.
that song, you're loving yourself.
Yep.
You have to be, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And it's so funny. Um, when I was younger, I was on a whole self-love journey. And the more I started loving myself, the more I was able to show people also the way to love themselves. And I
This,
had no idea that would be like part of my path and part of my mission and purpose in life. And it's a huge part of what I do in the world, I guess.
your presence empowers people when you're self loving. You are the teacher of self love.
Yeah.
Now, there's a
So,
flip side of that. Let's just talk about
uh-oh.
that for a second.
Uh-oh, what's the flip side?
When you're not self loving, no, it's good to see. It's good for you to, like, oh, right. When
Yeah.
you're not self loving, you can go to blame and shame.
Hmm.
So anytime that shows up, it's your
Yeah.
signal.
Yeah. You're right. Because I do. It's like I do go to blame and shame. However, I know that that's not the right way to go. So I stop myself and I try to analyze all of that. But I do go to blame and shame initially.
Yeah, so that's all that is your flag lighting up saying, "Oh, I'm off. I'm not in my
Mhm.
self-love.
Yep.
I'm more powerful when I'm self-loving than
Yeah.
when I'm blaming and shaming."
Right. Right.
Right?
So true. So true.
So I just want to talk about right now, this week before Christmas
Hmm.
is flipped. The sun is in 10
Hmm.
and the earth is in 15. And you see people are running around wrapping presents and staying up late to take care of
Yep.
things and cooking, right? There's all
Yeah.
this extreme
Frenzy.
activity. Pardon?
Frenzy.
Frenzy. Yeah, it's extreme activity,
Hmm.
right? And this, you see people going into blame and shame if they're not
Yeah.
being in love with, if they're not loving themselves,
Hmm.
right? It can be a little dicey time this week before Christmas.
Definitely. Definitely. Wow.
So these are the planets and these are the hexagrams at your birth, and these are the planets and these are the hexagrams 3 months prior to your birth. So
Okay.
this we call your unconscious. It's equally as important. It's just you probably recognize this more because
Hmm.
this is unconscious. But
Okay.
when you look at your chart, you see some of it's colored in, right?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
your 15 is covered in, your 10, but you see your 10 hooks up with the 57,
Okay. What do the colors
right?
mean?
So the colors, this is unconscious, right? The red is unconscious and the
Okay.
black is conscious. So
Okay.
we come over here and we look at where your 57 is in Pluto. It's both black and red.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So Pluto is transformation and 57 is intuition.
Hmm.
You have a deep intuition. You bring your intuition to transformative processes.
I really do. I really do. And I use my intuition to guide myself to make decisions, big decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your intuition is helpful, it goes right to your heart, helps people in songwriting. You've got a good intuition of how to guide people,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yep. And I remember, did you say I was a manifester?
You are a manifester. Let's talk about that. So,
Yeah, I found that really interesting. I was reading that section of your book and I was like, it's completely describing me. Totally, like perfectly. I was like, oh my goodness. And it's like, I see myself as a lone wolf. And I've said it a few times to people, and I saw that in your book. It said that, those exact words, lone wolf.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. So
Uh-huh.
there's five big puzzle pieces. If you think of a puzzle, there's like the sky and the earth and
Yeah.
right there. So there's five big puzzle pieces in human
Mhm.
design. And you can see how we chunk it down and get more specific as we go in.
Right.
But your puzzle piece, so there's five, yours is called the manifester, and
Uh-huh.
that's 8% of the population.
Oh wow. Well, that makes me feel special.
Yeah. Every piece is special. Remember that. There's
I
no
know.
hierarchy here.
You're
Our
right.
our culture does idealize certain types, and manifestors is one of the types we do can idealize, right?
Okay.
Because you have the capacity to speak and be heard. You have the capacity to impact people. In fact, that's what you're designed to do. You're designed to get things going, impact people. You want to write a song? You're going to come in and you're going to give the nudge that enables someone to do that.
Right. Right.
You don't sit back, you come in and you impact.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that kind of explains why I have a hard time fitting in group settings and teams. Um I feel like sometimes my energy might be too much for people, or I don't know how
Yeah.
to describe it. I
No,
know
no, you're describing
you
it
can describe
perfectly.
it better than I can.
You're describing it perfectly. The manifester is one of is really manifester, manifesting generators a little bit, but manifestors don't need people the way some of the other puzzle pieces need each other. We
Mhm.
need we need each other so that we can be as powerful as you are, to say it one way. You're naturally powerful. You naturally can create an impact. You have what's called a motor. These are two of the motors going to the
Mhm.
throat. You can speak and be heard. The rest of us do that in relationship, but you
Right.
do that on your own. So
And
you,
it's funny because I've always tried to fit in and tried to be a part of a team, and it just seems like a nice atmosphere to be part of a team that loves you and you love them back and all of that. But somehow it's very uncomfortable, and I feel more comfortable working independently.
people can be threatened by manifestors because they're so
Hmm.
powerful just without you saying or doing anything. Your aura
Hmm.
impacts people. People can feel intimidated. That can happen. I don't know if that's part of your experience.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I don't like to point it out or anything, but I feel it.
Yeah, your
I
big
feel it.
energy.
Yeah.
Your big energy. It's powerful. And not every people are envious of it and people want it. And
Right.
you're the like leader. You come in and go, boom, let's get something going.
Yeah. That's
And
so
it's
true.
great to have a coach who's a manifester because
Hmm.
they can help nudge us when we get
Right.
stuck.
Right.
So you're great with that. Another reason why groups are a little challenging for you is there's three different kinds of what we call circuitry,
Hmm.
and this is all individual circuitry. So you're really bringing something new to the planet. You're bringing a unique voice.
Hmm.
You're saying, let's hear your song. Let's find your unique self,
Yes. Yes.
right?
I try to have people sing their authentic songs from their hearts and try not to be like anyone else but themselves.
That's your gift. That's what you're bringing. You're not saying sing how you belong in the group. You're saying, let's hear your song,
Right. Right. Right.
right? And your blessing, if we look at Jupiter here, the place you bring blessings is by helping people look to the past, reflect on the past, get information from the past, and
Hmm.
then tell a story,
Hmm.
sing a song.
Hmm. Yeah, and their stories are all important. Not only does expressing themselves heal them, but letting other people hear their story lets other people relate to it and know that they're not alone in some way. So I think that's really important about expressing your song from your heart and your situation, whatever you went through, because it's not just helping you, it's going to help other people if you decide to put it out there.
So that's so beautiful. It's like you're empowering people
Mhm.
to heal the planet, heal other people by sharing their song and their story.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Now, I just want to say something important here. Like, this is the mindset gate, gate 47.
Uh-huh.
So, mindset is really important to you. It's really important for you to have a good mindset, and
Yeah.
it's really important for you to support people who are trying to write a song, trying to do something they can't
Yeah.
think they can't do, right?
Mhm.
To come to it with a good mindset.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I talk about that all throughout my book. That's like the major part of the book is mindset and
Yeah,
becoming confident and just knowing that you can do it,
yeah,
knowing that you're worthy.
yeah,
And without the confidence, you just can't succeed.
yeah.
So you have to definitely have that mindset. And I mean, I try to do it for myself and I try to teach others so that everyone can succeed. Whatever success looks like for them, definitely it starts with the mindset. So, how do you think being a manifester and my human design affects my actual songs that I put out?
I'm gonna guess and tell me how this feels for you that
Uh-huh.
because the job of the manifestor, each of the puzzle pieces have a particular job, right?
Uh-huh.
The job of the manifestor is to impact.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I haven't heard any of your songs, but
Hmm.
I'm guessing they're quite impactful.
I hope so. I I hope so. One of the songs I put out earlier this year was called What If, and it was basically me self-soothing and hoping that other people would feel soothed by the song also because I talk about, different scenarios. What if I cut off all my hair? What if I did this? What if and letting people know that everything's okay. No matter what you decide to do, at the end of the day, to me, this is all my beliefs. At the end of the day, life is a game and it's all to enjoy and have fun, and there's nothing extremely serious going on in the grand scheme of things. And so that particular song is saying that whatever you're going through, whatever you're thinking, it's okay. All is well. So I'm hoping that that song touches people.
So what you do with your song? So first of all, two things. One is your spiritual path. It's
Hmm.
this gate 26, which is to sell something to the tribe, like sell an idea. Like you're selling
Uh-huh.
the idea of at the end of the day, it's all a game. We're
Yeah.
okay. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. That is
So
so true.
so
And
that's your spiritual path.
yeah. Yeah. And it's like I wanna give people a perspective to consider. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
I've lived through certain things and I've gained knowledge for me. And I'm hoping that by me sharing this information that I can help others, whether it be through my coaching or through my music, it's all the same goal at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing I'm going to say about that. So the
Uh-huh.
manifester part,
Yeah.
that puzzle piece is about impacting people. So you sing a song and then your song goes out there and impacts the world. You don't keep doing it over and over again,
Right. That's true.
right? You set it in action and let it do its job.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so
Yep.
that's part of you being a manifester. Now, I know we're going with time, but let me just say a few more things if that's okay.
Sure. Go ahead.
If someone who wanted to sing a song, like
Mm-hmm.
let's take you, wanted to create a song and you have an open head.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's your taking in, wherever you're open, you're taking in the world. It's like you're breathing in the world.
Uh-huh.
Whether you're defined, you're breathing out.
Right.
Like you can't go to your head and say, oh, I'm going to write a song about this. That's not going to work.
Right.
So if any of your students out there, want to write a song and they think, well, I don't know what to say, like, yeah, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you have
You
to
don't
feel it. You have to
you
feel
don't
it.
have to know out the gate, right?
Mhm. Yeah. And it comes to you. It
Yeah.
comes to you. How would a songwriter, like if they wanted to work with you, how would human design help them?
Right. So that's kind of the direction I was going in. Like if you know your puzzle piece,
Yeah.
then you know how to approach the song. Like, oh, are you going to come to your, where you're open? You can't go to some place that you're open to figure it out exactly, or that you can lean into the mystery of that. I don't know if I'm
Mhm.
saying that very well or not, but it helps you understand how to approach writing the song, for example.
Okay.
Like, um, for you, you have a defined throat. You know what you're going to say. Your voice is, you have consistent access to your voice. Someone like me with an open throat, I
Hmm.
have to listen for it and let it come through me.
Okay. Okay, I
I
see.
I, I don't know what's going to come through. I'll hear the words as they come out.
Okay. So what you're saying is like when I'm writing a song and I have the concept and I have the idea and it starts to flow, it just flows. Like I just write it. It just comes out or I sing it. And it's not something that I necessarily have to think about too much. Is that what you mean by that?
Well, if I look at you specifically, I think each person has their own way of tapping into their knowledge.
Right.
For
Right.
you, you've got this beautiful intuition going to your heart.
Hmm.
For you, you've got this deeply emotional, this is like the artistic gate that, like, channel that's like in the right time when you feel like it. You can't be
Hmm.
pushed to it.
Hmm.
You have to do it when you feel like it.
Right.
From your feelings, you feel the depth of humanity and it comes to your voice.
That's exactly right. Yeah. This whole
For,
thing is so amazing.
for
It's so
somebody else, it would be a different way. That's
right.
all I'm saying.
Exactly. Exactly. See, that helps me too with my coaching. It
Exactly.
definitely helps me. And I think in general, it helps people make peace with themselves. And like in my book, I talk about, step one is making peace with where you are in life, right? But with human design now, you're making peace with who you are and who the people are around you if you're collaborating or something like that. And it just it makes you feel a little bit more relaxed, right?
You have
And
compassion for
accepting.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah,
compassion, accepting.
passion is big. Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
any of these places where you're open,
Mhm.
like where you're defined is kind of like privilege. You've got a lot of definition. So there's a ground. You have consistent access to those energies.
Uh-huh.
Where you're open, and this is what my book I'm just writing on now is, these are called your pain points,
Okay.
but I also call them your God portals. It's
Okay.
it's where you're taking in the world. It's where you can be conditioned and believe you should be someone different than you are.
Mhm.
So to clear these filters and have compassion, um, for yourself, like for you, for example, you, this open sacral, 75% of the population have a defined sacral. 75% of the population have consistent access to their energy. They're designed to work. They're designed to, pump it out. You're
Yeah.
not. You
I'm
have a
not I'm definitely not. And
you
that's one of the reasons why I had to quit my job a couple years ago.
exactly.
And I currently have a part-time job and I'm doing coaching and what I'm doing is just not the norm.
Yeah, because you're not one of the 75% or 70%
Mhm.
who are here to work and find their right work and love it. They're like working dogs. They
Yeah.
feel better doing what they love.
Yeah.
Doing that job, that job,
Exactly.
that
Right.
working. They wake up in the morning, energy, ready to go, work all day
Yeah.
long, fall asleep exhausted at
Yeah.
night. That's not you.
That's so funny. And all the years that I've been in corporate America, I feel like I've actually been able to stay that long because I've always had a passion on the side that was driving me. And if I didn't have that passion, I don't know how long I would have lasted in, in corporate America behind the desk
Yeah, it's
doing a
tough.
9 to 5.
It's tough for you with your extremes. I mean, on a desk 9 to 5. Oh my God, how did you do it?
Torture, torture. And no one understood how I felt. It's so
Yeah,
funny now that this all it explains it. It
that would
explains
be
it.
really tough.
Yeah, definitely, definitely tough.
So if you
Wow.
know your design, you know how to use
What
your
works for
energy.
you? Right,
Yeah, what's good for you. Yeah,
right, right.
yeah.
I love it. I love the whole concept of understanding who you're meant to be in this world and being able to accept it, make peace with it. Um, so Robin, how do you see people's lives or things in people's lives manifest when they're not being authentic or they're trying to change the way they are in this world? For example, like myself, I know that I try to be tougher. I try to have a thicker skin. I try to, and at the end of the day, no matter how much I try, I fall back to some kind of default of compassionate, sensitive person.
Yeah, well, remember your son is in the gate of compassion.
Mhm.
That is who you are. You're deeply compassionate, but you do have this manifestor piece. It's a conundrum for you.
Yep.
It's a,
Definitely it is.
and that's, your parents didn't do that to you. Let's just be clear. That's your puzzle piece.
Right.
That's what you're here to grapple with. Your
Right.
siblings didn't do that to you. No instance in your life made that happen to you.
Right.
This is
So no
your,
matter what, like you said before, no matter who I came across, I was gonna end up grappling with this type of situation anyway.
yes. Yeah. And you were going to naturally, with your aura as a manifester, push people away a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's just your puzzle piece. It's not right or
Right.
wrong. If there's a high side to it, like you can do things, and there's a low side to it, which you don't need people. So you don't do the merge thing that other people do. You can't
Right.
do that.
So true.
Even though it might look cozy and nice, that's not yours.
So true. So, Robin, you have another book coming out, right?
I do. Understanding your
Okay.
those 9 centers
Yeah.
through human design, those
Okay.
pain points, those God portals. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to read that one. Oh my goodness. So, Robin, can you tell people where they can, reach you or follow you on social media, how they can get your
Sure.
book, all that good
I'm going
stuff?
to share my screen for a second again, if that's
Sure.
okay, just to bring that up. So you can get my book,
Hmm.
a link to my free book at clientsinhumandesign.com, free dash book. So you'll get the PDF of my book, the
Hmm.
download of my book. Or you could reach me at Robin at Clients in Human Design if you
Hmm.
wanted to reach out, if you wanted a session, or if you want to find out more about my training program.
Yes.
And this is my, not showing up quite, there you go. My new book that's coming out, Understanding the Centers in Human Design, the Facilitator's Guide to Transforming Pain into Possibility.
Exciting stuff.
So, yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robin, for taking out the time to talk with me and talk about your book and human design. It's so interesting. And like I mentioned, I just love it. I love that you can be guided. Like there's a guide now to understanding your purpose on this planet. And it's great. And I just wanted to ask you, I don't know if you mentioned it, when did human design like come about? Is
I
it like
know,
ancient,
right?
like hundreds of years ago, or?
No, it's like the MRI. It's new technology.
Oh, okay.
1987,
Oh my
the
gosh.
harmonic convergence. This
Oh
fellow
my
from
gosh.
Canada was in Spain on retreat. His name is Ra. He's not with us anymore, but
Okay.
He came back to his room and it was filled with light beings, and they downloaded this information to him. And they said, this is for the evolution of humanity.
Oh my
It's for
God.
everyone, but it's particularly for parents to parent their children, because if you know who your child is, you can support them from the beginning to be who they are.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And we're definitely going to have to talk offline about that because I want to understand my child and
Exactly.
my husband.
I know, right? Right? It really helps. It really
Yes.
helps.
But thank you so much once again. And to everyone, if you're ready to write that song that's in your heart, definitely reach out to me. Go to my website, www.kaylamour.com. That's KAYLAMOUR.com. Contact me. We'll set up time to chat and see if I can possibly help you take that next step on your individual, unique path to songwriting success. Thanks again. Aloha, Robin, and mahalo.
Mahalo. Really, I love what you're doing. I think it's a real gift to humanity to free our
So much.
voices and to let our song have its life.
Thank you so much.
You're
All right.
welcome.
Take care, everyone.